Well, while I think that certainly on the environmental spectrum, things like global warming are certainly very hot button issues, which will really become more and more pertinent as time progresses. I think on a more political level, on the international spectrum, I think the conflict in the Middle East, as well as the proliferation of nuclear weapons, is going to be a very hot button issue in the next 10 years. Certainly, right now we've faced crisis in North Korea with the potential of them having nuclear weapons. We're worried about Iran because they've confessed to having nuclear programs, and certainly there's no clear resolve in the future for the conflict in the Middle East, and really that whole situation's only getting worse as time progresses. And I think in the next 10 years we're really going to see some form of conflict really arise because tensions are building, and it's only so much time until it passes the threshold where it really erupts. So I think settling that issue is going to be really big on the international spectrum. Domestically, I think the biggest issue that we're going to face is the place of religion in our society. Probably, as we've all seen from all the bills being passed, our NIC proposals, a lot of them deal with should under God be in the Pledge of Allegiance, should gay marriage be allowed or banned because of religious justifications, should people be sworn in using the Bible. These are all things that are becoming increasingly more controversial nowadays that are going to have to be thought over as time progresses. So, yeah.
Oh, 3 good answers, good problems. Now for the fun part. Do you guys have questions for each other? And please ask them and answer them accordingly.
My question for Mark and David are, what separates you two from each other? Because I know that it's really hard for everybody to get to know us 3 candidates, so now's your chance to tell everyone.
All right, I'll go first. Hey, I'd first like to say it's kind of hard because we don't know each other that well. We weren't in the same groups going around at Bob too.
Very true.
So we're going off of guesses here almost. But I think my biggest thing, because I see it above a lot of people, is just my optimism. I like to go out. I have such a good time. I've been so stressed out lately at YNG, with this campaign or with lobbying, making my initiative. But I love it. Like, I just try to look at everything the best of hopes, best of lights. And I know that makes life so much better, so much more enjoyable, and everything becomes better.
And I guess that would make me a flaming pessimist, but
Not necessarily, just
I think that's a reason why we're similar. I would like to think that I'm generally a very happy person. Let's see. As you said, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because we haven't really gotten to know each other very well. I think I'm a very musical person. Do you play a musical instrument, Mark?
Half of multiple instruments, you could say. A little bit of drums, a little bit of guitar.
All right, a little bit of this and that. Well, I do a lot of music. I've been playing guitar for about 6 years now, and I just started learning the Indian sitar, which is fun.
What's the Indian sitar?
Okay. The sitar is fantastic. Basically, it's just to describe the instrument itself. There's a gourd. It's literally made out of like a pumpkin. On the bottom,
Okay.
A really long, wide neck. It has 17 strings, but you only play one of them. The other 16 strings all resonate, and it's got, it's just a really, really full sound. I mean, have you heard Norwegian wood?
Yes.
Well, you know the twang, 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 twang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sitar right there.
That's so funny
It's
to say that, 'cause
fantastic.
if I could learn an instrument right now,
Yeah, so
definitely.
I'm a very musical person. I think that's
talented.
one
Adjustable
difference
frets and everything.
Oh yeah, it's great.
The Beatles can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, there we
George
go.
Harrison, it's my hero.
Good question.
Oh, do you want my question?
Sure.
Okay, well, I was thinking about what to ask you guys, and I came up with the lame riddle that I found on the internet about 15 minutes ago. So, a man builds a house with all 4 walls facing south. A bear walks by the house. What color is the bear?
All right. I'll go for this.
Okay.
I think it's the answer's the middle because I'm pretty sure that I'm right. I was thinking about the geography first off. There's only one place in the world where all 4 sides of a house could be facing south. That would be directly on top of the North Pole. And the only colored bears I know that live at the North Pole or only type of bears would be polar bears. And those are white fur, black skin, all left-handed. Kind of a little tidbit right there from a Snapple bottle cat if you want to know that. So I'd say it's a white polar bear that walks by.
I was actually just about to say the same thing, a white polar bear, which kind of brings me into talking about global warming again. Because right now, because the glaciers are melting, a lot of polar bears are drowning, and I think that's really sad because I like our polar bears a lot. So I think we need to combat global warming.
And penguins. The happy feet
And
won't be that happy
penguins.
anymore.
Penguins.
No, Penguin South Pole.
Hey, well, global
Yeah,
warming
all
affects
these ice
everywhere,
caps,
not just the North Pole, right?
All right, so I was thinking for my question, I was thinking about Arnold's discussion yesterday when he was talking about how you need to have a person that you're looking up to, and that's who inspires you, and that's who you go off of. So I was wondering, who was the number one, or I don't know, maybe two people that really inspired you to get involved in youth government and move up to, for example, running for governor for next year?
Well, the one person who inspired me to get involved with youth in government was my advisor in years past. His name was Dot, and he showed me the video for MUN, and I joined MUN, and then he got me involved with youth in government, and he actually wanted me to get involved and to run for governor eventually. He left, unfortunately. He decided to finish up with school. So right now, I think the biggest inspirations in my youth and government career would be my three advisors standing in the back of the room right here. You probably can't see them with the cameras, but, well, you can imagine them. You'll probably see them sooner or later.
You look great.
Yeah, they do. So, yeah, I mean, they're great. They support me a lot. They're fun to be with. And, yeah, they work really hard. It's fun.
I definitely think that my advisors and everyone in my delegation has inspired me for youth in government. But on a larger scale, I really think that my mom she's an amazing person. She's oh my gosh, she's just amazing. Like she wakes up and goes to work at 4 a.m. every day just so that she can come home early and be with my brother and I. And it's just it's really crazy to me how she can balance having a full career and taking care of our family. And she's just a really amazing person, and I would like to aspire to be like her and be able to do so much and take so much out of life and give back a lot also.
Mothers are very awesome.
It's like my dad. He's nocturnal. He goes to bed at 6 in the morning.
Really?
No, serious.
All right. You say so.
All right, we have some issues,
It's that.
and we're gonna ask you where you stand with them. We already talked about global warming enough, I think. So, where do you stand on gay marriage? You wanna go first?
I think that gays and lesbians should have the exact same rights as we do. Why can't they be happy and be able to be in a union with each other if they care about their partners? And they deserve all the same rights and benefits that married couples do. I mean, married couples get, I think it's about 1,000 automatic benefits when they become married, and why shouldn't gays get the same rights? I know that a lot of homosexuals are actually leaving the United States to go to Canada so that they can get married and get those rights, and I think that the United States should, guarantee them those rights so that we're not losing so many good citizens to other countries just because we won't allow gay marriage.
Yeah, I have to agree. I definitely think that gay marriage should be legalized, and this is where it gets interesting because obviously there's that big religious question, like I talked about earlier. Should religious institutions that don't want to marry people, allow gay people to be married? And I think ultimately, I agree with the concept of separation in church and state, and I think ultimately whether or not a specific church wants to marry someone should be up to that church. That should be their decision. But I do think that there should be an opportunity for all gays and lesbians and anyone who wants to get married to marry outside of that structure, to have some form of marriage. It's been called civil union in the past, although I think what I'm conceptualizing here might be slightly different. But basically they would get all the same rights, they would have all the same privileges, custody, tax benefits, everything. Because there really isn't a single reason why we should be devaluing the love of any other two people compared to any other two. We're all equal here, we're all peers. Born with the same inalienable rights. I don't think there's any reason why we should be discriminating against anybody.
Well, I agree with both of them too. I think that homosexuals do deserve the same rights that the rest of us get, and I think the best way to solve that problem is to start looking at marriages more as civil unions. And, that will stop the religions from getting so mad and angry about this issue if they aren't using the same terminology. That's the answer. If then the homosexuals can get the same rights that we do, they can get all the benefits of their need that you get through what is now a marriage. If we do that, I think the religions will they'll accept this law more easily. They'll accept the standing because it's not offending their own religion, it's not going against their personal rights. And if they don't want to marry or put these two to a civil union, they don't have to. The homosexuals can go to another place and they can get their compact there.